Hi friends, welcome back to our channel Total QA. In this video, we're going to discuss how are we going to use TestNG iRetry Analyzer interface is being used in the TestNG test cases. So before we go ahead and start this topic, let's try to get some understanding about some TestNG basics. So TestNG is a Java framework mainly useful to write test cases, and these test cases are having the annotation @test. Okay, and how are we going to execute this @test cases? We are going to execute this @test cases via testng.xml file. And whenever we execute the test cases via testng.xml file, there is a test output folder getting generated which contains index.html and emailable report.html which contains reports the information about the execution of the test cases, whether the test case is pass or fail. So let's complete this now before we go ahead and discuss about iRetry Analyzer. So I created a program, TestNG examples program, and also for this TestNG I already added TestNG dependencies. We added the TestNG dependencies so that we can use TestNG classes. I'm going to create two methods now here. Public void say login, then I try to create one more method, public void logout. Two methods I created. These two are Java methods. These two are not TestNG test cases. The reason being, there is no annotation is added. Suppose for example, I try to execute this program, right click run as. Do we have any option here? If you look at here, we don't have any option here to execute. Why? Because there is no main method. Usually there should be a main method. If there is no main method, we cannot execute this as a Java program. Second point, this program doesn't have @test. So you cannot execute this as a TestNG program as well, because we have only two methods. These two methods doesn't have annotation. Now I'm going to add the annotation now @test and try to import accordingly. Quick fix, import the statement. Now we have two methods. One method is having @test. One method is not having any annotation. So what will happen in that case? Again, try to execute the program. Right click, run as TestNG test. We get the output here. The output is it executed only login method. So what is understanding here? Whenever there is @test, only those methods will be considered for execution. Okay, now let me add @test here also. Now here we are able to see there are two methods, login, logout. There are multiple methods like @test, say public void, say click register, validate register button. We have another method where we are validating register button. Now in that case, suppose if we would like to execute only login, only validate register, what we can do? We can put here enabled is equal to false. So what happens when we execute the program? It executes login method, it executes validate register method. Why? Because enabled is an attribute for @test. When you put enabled is equal to false, what happens in this case? It will execute totally 2 test cases even though there are 3 because enable is equal to false. Let's execute this program now. Okay, it executed only 2. Okay, now can we manage this information via an XML file? Because whenever we wanted to execute only few methods, we are putting enabled is equal to false in the program. So can we manage this in an XML file and try to configure such a way that to execute only set of test cases? Yes, that is possible. What we have to do here, select the program, right click and navigate to all the options. You will find an option for TestNG. Here you can select create TestNG class. So what it does, it will help us to create an XML file. I am not writing this XML file. I am generating this XML file automatically by selecting this option. What is the option? Again select it, right click on the testng.examples, select testng, create testng class. While creating testng class, you can even select what methods to be used to execute. As I said, I want login and validate register. Just click on next. And it generates an XML file. What is the file name you wanted to give? I want to give an example. The XML file name is a totalqa.xml. Okay, and I can select all these annotations. There are so many annotations here. If you look at, there are so many annotations available here. Before method, after method, before class, after class, before test, after test, before suit, after suit, and data provider. These are all the annotations which are available in TestNG. You can even select them to generate the code. As of now, this XML file generates in the source folder. In the source folder, and this is a class name. Just click on finish now. Right? Actually, you can keep this XML file in the project also. It is not required to keep it in the source main Java. You can keep it in the project here. I'm copying in the project. Now let me open totalqa.xml. So what happens here? Previously, I have written the logic, right? But what is happening? It is trying to create its own program to generate this. Okay, so let's do one more thing. It is generating automatically. We don't want this one. We'll delete this. But what is required is TestNG examples. Let's update this as TestNG examples. So this XML file is generated, and this XML file contains information about this program. In the XML file, we have to define methods include name equal to login. Similarly, include name equal to, what is the next method name? We can even execute validate register here. So what is the advantage of putting this information here? If you put this information here, say methods include, so in this XML file, in this class name, it is only executing these two methods. Okay, that's it. So in the XML file, we can even remove this enabled is equal to false. Why? Because we are putting this information saying that what methods to be executed. Now, execute the program now. If you want to execute the program, we execute the XML file. Going further, right click on the XML file, run as TestNG suite. Now we got the result. The result shows run as 2 test cases ran it, but we are unable to find the content of it, what methods it has been executed. If you would like to see what are all the methods that has been used for execution, go to XML file. Here put an attribute verbose equal to 5. When you put verbose equal to 5, you can see the logs. What are all the methods executed? Run as TestNG suite. It will take some time, and you can see here there are two methods which are executed, which are test cases, and they are login validate register. Now, whenever we execute the testng program, it generates a test output folder. This is what I said. It generates a test output folder. So where can we find this test output folder? If you look at here in the project, this is a project. Do you see test output folder getting generated? The test output folder is not getting generated automatically. It is already executed, but it already generated, but it is not visible in Eclipse because Eclipse will not do auto refresh. So we have to do refresh of the project to find out the result file is generated or not. Click on refresh. When you do that, you see the test output folder getting generated. Expand this. You will find here the emailable report.html, the index.html. These two HTML files contains the information about the results, the execution of the test cases. Okay, now next, if suppose is there any test case which is getting failed, say login is getting failed, say set true, false. What is happening in this case here? I am expecting true, but I am passing false. This test case is failed in this scenario. Let me execute the XML file. Always we need to execute the XML file. Right click on the XML file, run as testng test. We have 3 test cases. We are executing 2 test cases. In these 2 test cases, we already have 1 test case which is getting failed. What is that? Login is getting failed because it is expecting true. We are passing false. Now, one more important point which will be helpful for everyone is whenever we execute the testng program, if there is any test case which is getting failed, like this, there's a test case which is getting failed. This test case is getting failed, right? So with this information, testng generates an testng fail.xml file. Right click, refresh, expand the test output folder. You will find the testng fail.xml. This will generate when if there is any method which is getting failed, the information of the methods which are getting failed will be stored under testng fail.xml file. Let's open and see what is the content of testng fail.xml file. See, the testng fail.xml file is available and it is methods include login. So this is how you can identify the methods which are getting failed. And if you are interested, we can execute only testng fail.xml file only to rerun the test case. Let me rerun it. So we can even select testng fail.xml to rerun the test case, and also the content is same. I already explained you. Methods include, to include a specific method, but the file name here, if you have to look into that, is testng fail.xml file, which is getting generated for a failed test case. Now, the point, the actual topic. Can we re-execute the test case multiple times? Can we re-execute the test case multiple times? Let's see now. Because it is important in real time, we have to re-execute failed test case multiple number of times. Okay, so how are we going to achieve to execute the same test case, the failed test cases? See, it is not required to execute the passed test cases, right? It is important to execute the failed test cases. So how are we going to achieve that? Let's see now. So in order to achieve this, what we have to do is we have to use a interface which is available in Java, that is iRetryAnalyzer. Okay, and also we have to use @test attribute, that is retry analyzer. We need to use one interface, iRetryAnalyzer, to re-execute the failed test cases for a multiple number of times. Suppose the test case is getting failed. I wanted to execute the test case for 2 times. Then we have to use iRetryAnalyzer, and also for the test attribute we have to put retryanalyzer attribute and associate the information accordingly. Okay, let's write down the logic now to achieve this. Okay, let's go to the topic now. Let me go to Eclipse. Now we're going to write a program here. Let's write a program. The program is already available, and we are focusing on executing, say, re-execute a specific method. Suppose login is getting failed. I want to execute only login. I don't want to execute any other method. So in that case, what we can do is we can implement a retryanalyzer way. So what we have to do is this implements iRetryAnalyzer. Okay, let's do one thing. This is example, TestNG examples. We will not touch this class because always TestNG test cases we should not modify anything. But our objective is to re-execute the login method multiple number of times. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's create a separate program for this. Say retry logic. I'm creating another program, retry logic, and also for our understanding, what I'll do is I'll keep these two side by side. Okay, this is our example, TestNG examples. We have 3 methods and we are writing one new program now here. So in this new program, what we do is we will try to implement an interface. Implements is a keyword mainly used in Java to use the interfaces to provide implementation for the abstract methods. We're using implements is a keyword, iRetryAnalyzer. So what happens here when I say iRetryAnalyzer, it is asking us to import. We'll import that. But tell me one thing, whenever we are importing and whenever we are using an interface, what we have to do it? We have to provide an implementation for the methods which are abstract and they are available in the iRetryAnalyzer interface. Let me show you the content of the iRetryAnalyzer interface. The iRetryAnalyzer interface contains a method. This is an interface. This is the method. It is an abstract method, but there is no keyword because in the interface for the methods, abstract is by default. Even though if you don't mention the abstract keyword in the interface for the methods, it will be treated as an abstract method and there is a semicolon here. So the classes which are implementing iRetryAnalyzer, they have to provide implementation for this method. They have to provide the implementation of this method. So let me copy this now. Go here. I have to provide implementation of this method. What is implementation means? Remove semicolon, just provide this information. And here we have to return some boolean. I will return the boolean. Okay, I'll return the boolean. Say I'll just mark it as boolean result. Say is equal to false or true. We'll put as of now false and return result. So till this point, it is clear that iRetryAnalyzer is an interface which has a method, retry method. We are trying to override this method and we are providing the implementation of this method. Okay, there is already a variable available. Let's take result 1 as a from, because result is already available as a local variable. Now, how many times we would like to execute this login method? How many times we wanted to execute this login method? We wanted to execute this login method, say 3 times or 4 times. Suppose if you are interested to execute this method 2 times. So in that case, let's start like writing the logic now. First, let's try to say the retry count. What is the retry count here? Say we create one variable. We create a retry count as, say here 2. 0, 1, 2 times it will execute. Sometimes it will execute like 3 times also. Here retry count we are giving 2 means it will execute 3 times. Okay, it's very important. Suppose if we are giving 1, it will execute 2 times. Right? So it is important. 1 time it is already executed by this class. 2nd time it will execute because we are giving retry count as 1. It will execute 1 more time based upon this logic. Now we will write a conditional statement. What is the conditional statement is if, okay, and also you can say maximum retry count. Okay, retry count is right now you put this as a 0. We need the limit. What is the limit? Wait. So we create some constant variables. Why? Because constant is fixed. Retry count is not a constant because we are putting the lower limit as 0, the upper limit as say 1. Int max retry count. Same variable name, but I am putting maximum here and also I am putting as final. Why? This is fixed. For the fixed variables, the fixed values, we can mark it as constant. How do we mark constant in Java? Using final keyword. Now we'll put a conditional statement. If retry count less than max retry count, yes. Put the conditional statement here. Then inside the conditional statement, we'll just put this here. So inside the conditional statement, what we have to do is we'll just try to increment it. And here we'll put 2. We increment one more time. We try to result return as true. Okay. Otherwise, result as false. So how many times this will be executed? Retry count is 0. The maximum retry count is 1. When this method is getting called, whenever we execute the test case. But what is the relationship between this and this method? There is no relationship. If you want to associate a relationship between this method to this method, and we have to say that whenever this method is failed, please execute this method, there should be some relationship, right? Because both are independently written. This is a separate class, this is a separate class. How are we going to create a connection between those two classes? And how do we mark this method to be executed multiple times? That is what we are going to see. That is going to be achieved by adding an attribute retry analyzer. We are going to mention the class name, the retry logic dot class. So this method, whenever it is failed, the result will be stored here. The result is false. When the result is false, it will go inside. Then it will try to execute till the condition is true. iTest result contains the status of the test case. The test case is either pass or fail. The result contains pass or fail. This method will be called whenever this method is failed. Let's do one thing. Let's make this test case as fail, pass first. Whenever we mark this test case as pass, will it invoke this and execute multiple times? Let's see. Execute this program, run only this testng examples, run as testng test. Now login executed one time, logout executed one time, validate register executed one time. So when there is a test case which is getting passed, even though if you put retry analyzer, retry logic.class, this will not execute at all. It will execute only when you mark it as false. When you mark it as false, this test case will be failed. The result is failed here, the false mainly. The result is false when it will come inside this conditional statement. This will try to execute based upon the conditional statement and continues further. So let me execute again now. See how many times this will execute because this is getting failed. Run this. So login is executed how many times here? Login is executed totally 2 times. One time is already executed by this program and another time is executed because you are putting the logic, the maximum retry count is 1. So one time it is already executed. It called this one and the condition is true. When the condition is true, it will try to execute one more time. So maximum retry count is 1, 0 less than 1 and we are incrementing it, it will execute one time. So it is important that in real time, if there are some cases where the method is getting failed due to timeout issues, if you want to re-execute the same test case, you just need to associate one attribute. Simple, this attribute you have to associate like this. For any test case you can associate this. And when this will be getting re-triggered, only in the case of failed test cases, it will be re-triggered automatically. If the method is passed, this logic will not be triggered. See, this is how you can use the logic of iRetry analyzer interface, which will help us to retry the logic based upon the test result. The test result is pass, this will not getting triggered. If the test result is fail, this is getting triggered. Okay, I hope this will be helpful for you to use this in real time to re-execute a failed test case multiple number of times. Thanks for watching the video. If you like my video, please subscribe and share.